In an interview with Russian-language Israeli television Channel 9 broadcast on Thursday, Prime Minister Netanyahu was asked whether Israel would operate against Iranian targets in Iraq if needed. And he said, and I quote, "We are operating not just if needed, we are operating in many areas against a state that wants to annihilate us. Of course, I gave the security forces a free hand and instructed them to do anything necessary to thwart Iran's plans." Right, joining us now to discuss is Gadi Adelman. Gadi is a counterterrorism expert. All right, Gadi, so it sounds like Prime Minister Netanyahu is confirming that it is indeed Israel behind those attacks on Iranian targets in Iraq. How do you interpret his answer?
I don't know that I would say it was a confirmation so much as a little bit more than what Israel usually does, which is says we have no comment either way. I think he's leaving it up to people to decide, but it's pretty obvious that Israel is going to defend herself. Israel will defend the country of Israel in any means possible. And its biggest threat right now from various locations throughout the region is Iran.
So can we assume that if Israel is indeed behind these attacks, that this comes with a lot of coordination and certainly the approval of the United States?
You know, I don't know that Israel goes to the United States for each and everything that they do. I remember when they took out the Iraqi nuclear reactor, Reagan at that time was rather surprised that Israel had managed to do that and knew nothing of it in advance. So, the Mossad and Israel's intelligence community will operate around the world as needed. And I don't know that they always will notify, regardless of whether it's a Trump administration or not, the U.S., because there's always a fear of tipping them off. Let's not forget, it was just January of 2018 when Israel, under the nose of Iran in Tehran, removed all of their computer files on their nuclear activity.
Right, but it's interesting, though, that you had those Iranian-backed groups in Iraq saying that they ultimately hold the United States responsible for these attacks. They have subsequently tried and walk back that claim that they think that the U.S. should pay the ultimate price for this. But, I mean, what do you think Iran's angle is here? In terms of retaliation, is Iran setting up the background that it has a legitimate right now, if you will, legitimate as Iran sees it, to attack the United States in response to this?
I don't think Iran ever needs a reason to do anything. They've been attacking, American troops when America was in Iraq. They were attacking American troops at that time. So, the Revolutionary Guard has their fingers in so many different locations throughout the world. They've attacked the United States and United States interests on multiple occasions in various areas around the world in the past. They refer to America as the Satan, the big Satan. Israel's the little Satan. There's no doubt that, they want to attack when they can the United States.
Do you see them taking any kind of retaliation against Israel?
Well, this is an ongoing thing, and we talked about it in your last segment, whether or not the Islamic Jihad was operating under the orders of Iran at the time that they fired these rockets into Israel over the last 48 hours. So Iran, and we've talked about it before, they're in Syria, they're in Lebanon, they're in Gaza, they have operatives in the West Bank, they're in Yemen. This is a situation that when Netanyahu has explained time and time again that Iran is the biggest threat to world peace and to Israel, that is not an exaggeration.
All right, Gadi, thank you so much again for your time and your perspective. Counterterrorism and Middle East expert Gadi Adelman.